Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm trying to make sure the audio is working. I hope it is. So I'm going to wind up doing this all over again. This is the Flagler weather update, and this is the 7th of September, 2025. And we're going to go ahead and look at our weather radar. We're starting off with this. So we've got a cold front that's kind of right along here that is kicking off all these showers and thunderstorms. So Bunnell being right here, Palm Coast, the heaviest activities to the south of us now, where there are some excessive rainfall amounts that are occurring in some of these areas down here to our south. So, and this is going to be kind of the story for the week here. This is going to be, I see Sherry, you can hear me. Thank you, Sherry. Anyway, so this is going to be kind of the story through the week is this off and on rain. It's not going to rain the entire time, but the rain is going to be with us throughout a good chunk of the week. So taking a look at satellite imagery here, kind of see everything's kind of going all these crazy different directions. So the colors represent lightning and where thunderstorms are. The front is up here. This was earlier in the day. The front is slowly making its way down, colliding with existing showers and thunderstorms over Florida and making things very wet and unsettled. Hi, Cherie. And so let's go ahead and talk about some of the concerns that are expected in the week ahead. So the main thing is, one of the main things is we've got king tides going on. So what are king tides? Those are the highest astronomical times that you get, highest astronomical tides rather, that you get this time of year. And it's got to do with where the moon is, how close the moon is, and its position. But that combined with the onshore wind flow that we're going to see, we could see some very localized nuisance flooding coming up in the next few days. So if you're in Flagler Beach, if you're around South 23rd Street and South Flagler Avenue, if you're in any of those areas that typically see a little bit of water when you get those really high tides, you might see some of that in the next few days. We're not expecting like widespread flooding or anything of that nature, but we are expecting to see some nuisance flooding and some beach erosion, that sort of thing. The other thing is going to be the heavy rainfall. We're going to get more local with this, but waves of showers and storms can be expected through the next 2 to 3 days, maybe even Wednesday, Thursday. They'll be moving it off the ocean. We're going to have kind of a localized nor'easter, and we're going to get more into the local details, how much rain we're going to get and all that. We're going to get to that in just a few seconds here. But this is going to be another weather concern through the next few days. So let's talk about tropics right now. The good news is there's no problems in the tropics right now. And that one system that was being watched out there has faded away. Some dry air got into the picture there. So that is not a thing. That is gone. As we go further into the future, looking at the tropics here, taking us to the 16th of September, there's a very slight chance of maybe something trying to get organized from the Bahamas into the Gulf and another area off the coast of Africa. And then as we get into the middle part of September, there's a little bit better chances of something trying to get developed in the central tropical Atlantic Ocean. That is only a 40% chance, though. That does not mean definitely, ooh, we're going to have a hurricane. Just means this is an area that's going to be watched over the next couple weeks for the potential of development. It does not guarantee there will be, and just like we saw that last system, it doesn't mean that anything will actually get it to act together, but it could. So let's talk about local weather now, because we got all this rain going on, how much we're going to get. So why are we getting all that? So this is the way things look right now. We have this front moving in and a bunch of weak low pressure systems. We have a weak front to the south that faded away. So it's just going to be a mess the next couple of days. That front comes and it stalls right over us, right over our area on Monday. And then that front just hangs out a good part of the week, kind of wobbling back and forth a little bit. And that's going to have a big effect on our weather. How much of an effect? Well, one thing it will be doing is bringing rain. So our rain chances for tonight remaining elevated, about a 50 to 60% chance of ongoing showers, rain, and thunderstorms off and on through the overnight hours. There will be dry spells. It's not going to rain all the time. There will be breaks. Then it starts up again. Then there'll be breaks. Tomorrow, very high rain chances, 85% chance county-wide. And again, it won't rain the entire time, but some heavier showers right along the coast will be possible, especially Monday onward, due to bands of rain moving in from the ocean behind that front. And if you get into tomorrow night, rain chances, look at this. Overnight Monday, but 80% chances of showers and storms right along the beaches. Those rain chances begin to decrease as you move along. I just got a flood advisory looks like for parts of the county here for Palm Coast. And that's probably due to this heavy rain that we're getting right now. So let's go ahead and continue on. Those rain chances stay pretty high. Tuesday, about a 90% chance of rain. Tuesday night, again, higher chances along the coast. Looks like we might even see a little bit of a local nor'easter kicking in here as we go Monday, Tuesday, depending where that front is. That front I was just talking to you about, that front wanders a little bit further north or a little further south than expected. It will affect this forecast. Wednesday, still about 80% chance of rain showers off and on throughout the day. And again, there will be breaks. It will not be raining all the time. Maybe Wednesday night we might begin to get a bit of a break or so, maybe a 50% chance of showers or thunderstorms along the beaches. That's still a pretty high chance for overnight. And as we get into Thursday, still pretty elevated rain chances, about a 50% chance of showers and storms at any time. Again, though, this might need to be updated. The further we get into the future, the less accurate we're going to be. Those rain chances stay with us into Friday, even though they are less. Saturday, about a 50% chance of showers and storms. How much rain are we going to get? 7-day total, folks. This is what we're looking at, 7 days. 6 to 8 inches of rain in some locations, especially northeast part of the county, southeast part of the county. There could be some locally heavier amounts than this. This is 7-day rainfall. So getting 6 to 8 inches of rain spread out over 7 days is something that we can deal with. But if we get 6 to 8 inches of rain in an hour, that will cause some flooding. So that's the amount of rain that we're looking at. Let's talk about wind. So are we going to see any winds? Well, with that front stalling, and let me get the wind gusts here, we're going to see that little nor'easter try to kick in. So we're looking at gusts up to maybe 25 miles an hour along the beaches on Monday. And those winds stay with us into Tuesday, gusting into the 20s along the beaches, maybe a little higher gusts than that as we go through the next few days here. As we go into Wednesday, still rather gusty, especially at the beaches, gusting up to 20, 25 miles per hour. And then as we get into Thursday, still rather breezy. Matter of fact, Thursday looks to get even windier with gusts up to 28 miles per hour, 25 at the beaches. And again, these numbers can change. So we can expect these this wind gusts to be higher or lower depending on where that front lands. And into Friday, still rather breezy at the beaches, gusting up to 30 miles an hour at times on the beaches, and that stays with us into Saturday. Again, the further you get into the future, the more chances of this forecast being adjusted. Temperatures aren't going to be a big deal this week, but let's take a look at it. Not as hot as it's been. Temperatures tonight, generally mid-70s across the way, upper 70s beaches. And tomorrow, high temperatures largely in the 80s because of that unsettled weather. We're not talking into the night. Now, if the sun does get out for a little while, we could see some hotter temperatures. But as we go through the week, pretty much consistent right into Wednesday. Still highs in the 80s, lows in the 70s. That pretty much stays unchanged throughout the week here. And even into Friday and into Saturday, highs staying in the 80s, lows in the 70s in this unsettled and occasionally wet pattern. Heat index numbers. So tomorrow, we're getting into the 90s, but again, that's not that big of a deal. With all the rain and the cloud cover, it's going to keep things kind of unsettled, and that's going to keep the temperatures in check as we go through the week. So if the sun does get out for any length of time, though, you could see a quick jump up in the temperatures there as we go through. So again, just to revisit the rainfall, how much rain are we going to get here? Just to revisit that, we are looking at, again, 6 to 8 inches in some places. So there's definitely some heavy rain potential on the way. So let's go further into the future. So we're talking potential hazards. The middle part of September, we may even get more rain now. 15th to the 19th, a slight risk of flooding rain over Florida. So again, this will be something we'll monitor as we get to it. That's quite a ways off, but this will be, we're talking next weekend and early next week for that potential even more rain getting into the picture. So let's talk about temperatures and precipitation. So looking at the temperature outlook, the 13th through the 17th, Look for actually below normal temperatures potentially. We're not talking about crisp, cool air. Remember, normal is about 90 this time of year. So highs getting into the low 80s is below normal. And if we're getting a lot of rain, a lot of unsettled weather, that's going to knock the temperatures down. And look for above normal precipitation. Again, middle part of September. Going further into the future, temperatures may be near normal when we get to the 21st of September, but precipitation, we are still looking at maybe right on the edge of above normal precipitation as we go into the end of September. So at the beaches, it's not really going to be good beach weather, folks, with the nor'easter blowing. And again, not a bad nor'easter. We're not talking about like what we get, like what we had a few years ago where Flagler Ave flooded and all that. We're not looking at any of that at all. But it's going to be blustery and lively at the beaches, and that's going to make the weather not so pleasant. So we're looking at, again, those gusts up to 21 miles an hour, showers and storms. UV index very high because even with the cloud cover, you still get some UV index through there. Rip current risk is moderate right now, but that might increase to high with those onshore winds. Water temperature is 80 to 85 degrees. That water temperature has cooled off just a little bit. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. We thank you for joining us. Again, if you just joined in and missed everything, you can rewatch it. You can rewind it and rewatch it. We'll also be putting the YouTube link up. And again, the main thing I want to focus on is that rainfall potential. If you're going to take one thing away from this, that we're looking at a lot of rain this week, 4 to 6 inches, maybe even 6 to 8 inches in some places, and locally heavier amounts. Everybody out there, have a great evening. And again, if you just came on, you can rewind to catch up. Take care.